I'm live for the first time ever on YouTube. This is weird, you guys. Bear with me as I'm trying to get this set up. Hi, my name is Joshua Best. Might as well introduce myself. Let's go again. I'm Joshua Best, the owner and executive producer of 1156 Productions, based here in the Pacific Northwest. How are you guys doing today? It's February 13th. It's 11:56 a.m. right now where I'm at. Today, I thought I've been sitting on this box for a minute now. This is the Padcaster teleprompter. It's the V2. It's the Parrot, the one that you've probably heard about, no doubt, on from Gerald Undone and the Kickstarter campaign that he blew up. Basically, way more people bought this than they expected, and it threw their whole campaign off. So, anyway, we're just going to unbox this for the first ever episode. So I'm calling this, in case you guys are new and you don't know who I am, I specialize in content for media production for brands in the outdoor adventure industry and the defense industry. So firearms manufacturers, camping gear, hunting gear, scopes, anything related to that industry is content that I shoot. And the reason why is I'm an outdoorsman. Grew up in the Pacific Northwest, originally from British Columbia, Canada. Moved down to the city of Spokane, Washington, where I'm at right now. And grew up in the woods. Love being outside. Love hiking, camping, fishing, hunting, the works, shooting, all of that stuff. So I'm calling this video podcast Guns and Cameras. It's kind of the unofficial title for right now. Excuse me. And yeah, so I'm new to YouTube. I've been watching it for a long time. I've been doing live streams on my Instagram, which is at 1156_productions. If you're curious and want to see more of my work. But YouTube is something that I've always wanted to branch out onto as a platform. So figured might as well give it a shot. So the live streaming is easy. I like getting on camera and doing it this way versus trying to put together edited content for myself, which will come later as I have more time. But right now, doing the live, unedited, raw, just throwing something up there onto this platform is something I can do. So we're going to do it this way. So if you're watching this, thank you for bearing with me. If I ramble, let me know. Interact with me. Send me messages in the chat or whatever. I'm probably going to fire up the Instagram here too to see if I can't get some people to jump on from there. So stand by while I get that thrown up there really quick. Sorry, you guys. I'm a little bit rushed this morning because I wasn't planning on doing this. And then I was doing a live on Instagram this morning and I was thinking about objectives and goals for this year. And this was one of them. And I'm trying to be a doer. Right? So somebody that instead of just sitting on my hands doing nothing, I actually just do it. So there's no real planning put into this. This is all just kind of happening right now. So anyways, a little bit about myself besides what I already said. I'm a husband. I'm a father of two. I'm a God-fearing man. Believe in freedom, the pursuit of excellence, the American dream, all that stuff. And so, yeah, I have a dog. She's a black lab. Her name is Tinker. She's 2 years old. She's adorable. She's a handful, but I love her. And yeah, so a little bit of backstory about this product that we're talking about today. So I've used teleprompters before during commercial production, right? They can be a very useful tool to have in your back pocket in case you have some talent or somebody who maybe is not as good at memorizing lines or being comfortable on camera. And so I've worked with, I forget who the product was, the manufacturer. It's not helpful. Stand by. There we go. Jehoshaphat. You guys thrown together. Let's see if we can do this here. Plus live. Confirm. Go live. Here we go. We're going to be live in 2 places. How fun is that? Hey, what's up, Instagram fam? It's Josh. 2 lives in a row. Lucky you. So I'm jumping on to Instagram as well. Hold on. Confirm. Because I'm also doing this on YouTube. So if you don't know, I have a YouTube channel that I'm starting. It's just, what is my YouTube handle even called? It's an excellent question. Gee whiz. Anyway, I'm on YouTube as well. It doesn't show me what my thing is here. Hold on. Let me just do this. Can I have 2 windows open? I can. What's up, Range Minded? How are you, man? It's just Joshua Best, I think, on YouTube. So I'm doing this on YouTube as well. So I'm going to try to run video podcasts on YouTube, that as well as on Instagram. Those are going to be the 2 platforms I use. So if I'm, just kind of know that. If you follow me on Instagram and you want to check out what I'm doing on YouTube, just jump over to YouTube, search for Joshua Best or 1156 Productions. What's up, Connor? What we're going to do today, I'm calling this video podcast, by the way, on YouTube. This is Guns and Cameras. So we're talking about guns and cameras most of the time. It's going to be one of the 2 or both, or, neither, whatever, So it's kind of fun. So anyways, what we're talking about today, I did just see that the Ronin video dropped. So for, yeah, I'll be talking about that too. You did a great job on that, Connor. I'm stoked to see how that does. But today what we're talking about on this video podcast is the Padcaster V2. It's the Parrot V2 from Padcaster. This is a mobile, maybe not just mobile, but it's a teleprompter. And it's something I'm going to try to use more for the YouTube space, the stuff I'm doing, gear reviews, stuff like that. But also, it's just nice to have like I mentioned earlier, something to have in your back pocket. So this is, I have no idea what's going to come in this Kickstarter. So if you're aware of what happened with the Padcaster Parrot V2, is that they launched a Kickstarter campaign. Gerald Undone, if you're familiar with him or not, is a very big YouTuber in the camera space. Canadian guy, makes a lot of how-to videos and gear reviews. He teamed up with Parrot, or Padcaster, I should say, and help promote the next version of this teleprompter. They have the original Parrot that's been around for a while. Great little unit. Anyway, he got on and did like a promo talking about like first impressions, first review. I think they teamed up to some degree, and he ended up blowing up their Kickstarter campaign. So what ended up happening was they were going to be shipping out in fall of last year, but because of all the orders, because of Gerald Undone, they oversold, right? And so that's the whole supply and demand problem that a lot of people are having right now, where what happens, it's a good problem to have, but it can be a nightmare when you have a product that's so in demand that you oversell, right? And so then you have a whole bunch of people, you've taken their money and they're waiting now for their product, right? I've worked with and have known a couple of brands who have had that problem. So finally, here we are. I think I ordered this. I bought into the Kickstarter, gee whiz, probably like, feels like a year ago now. But anyway, excuse me, you guys, got to warm up the vocal cords. This is a first impressions unboxing. I have no idea what to expect here. I hope it's a good product. So if you bought the Kickstarter, you're probably going to get one of these, or otherwise, if you buy one soon, it's going to show up. So here's the Padcaster V2 first impressions. We open it up, we get a little bit of packaging, we get our documentation, don't need that, and then we got a whole bunch of other smaller boxes. So first we got this is what says the Parrot Pro teleprompter multifunction adapter kit from Padcaster. This is just a white box, so you can see. We're just going to put that aside for now. Speak from the heart. Oh yeah, so prompt, yeah, range-minded, yes. Prompters. It's not so much for. Let me kind of preface it. The reason why I bought this prompter. Speaking from the heart is always important. Yes, like the lives are always going to be done live, right? But it does help to have, if you want to be a creator that goes on and creates content that has a little more direction, right? It helps to have, maybe not totally scripted, but at least your talking points or your bullets up on a screen in front of you, things that you can, your questions if you're doing live interviews. It's a useful tool to have. I'm not, and the reason why I went with the Padcaster over like any of the full-size prompters is because I wanted to have a tool that, again, it's an option, right? I can throw it up. It's small, it's portable, it rides right on the lens. It's something that, again, if you're working in production, it's good to have. So no worries. Anyway, that's the reason why. I'm pretty good off the cuff, so I will probably not be tripping up over a podcast, a teleprompter. I trip enough as it is. I don't need to be controlling things. So let's start with moving on. Let's move on. Let's start with this multifunction adapter kit. So I'm guessing that we're going to open up this box, and what's going to be inside after I get the tape is a bunch of stuff. Let's see what we got in here. Looks like we got a little magic arm. So this is like a little, I'm going to show both cameras here. It's like a little magic arm adapter. Yeah, it's exactly what that is. Miniature magic arm. This is a cell phone mount or holder. If this is dry, you guys, I'm a conversation guy. So if you have questions, let me know. This looks like, yeah, some kind of cell phone springy grabby thing for phones. We have, this looks like a cheese plate with, I don't know what that is. Some kind of thing. This looks like, I have no idea what that is. I know the cheese plate. That we're gonna have to look in the documentation about that thing. It looks like it's supposed to maybe grab a phone and then you suction. This looks like it's supposed to go over like a phone lens or something. I don't know. This looks like a metal disc with some threads. I don't know what that is either. We're gonna learn some stuff together today, guys. I think we're gonna have a little miniature visitor. This looks like a clip. Again, these look like a lot of cell phone things. And that's that box. What's up, girl? Hey. I'm doing a live stream video. Yeah, you know that? It's bright, huh? All right, you gonna go upstairs? I'll come up and have lunch in just a minute. That's my littlest pizza slicer option. That's a good point. That looks like a pizza slicer. Okay. Moving on to the big box. What's up, Jesse? Okay, so inside of the big box, we got another case. One of the things, if you buy into any kind of camera gear, what you end up having a surplus of anything else is cases and bags. I don't like cases and bags. I get really irritated by these because they take up a whole lot of space. Let's see what's inside this case. Plus, if I gotta, if not having a big fancy thing like this gets the cost down, I'm all about that. Or at least having the option to buy one without all this stuff. Packing up to shoot tracers tonight. Any advice? I do have some advice about that, but we'll get to that here in a minute after I finish what I'm doing. So inside of this very nice case is more stuff. It looks like they have some slots for all of the extra things. So this is the actual unit here, it looks like. So this is the part that flops down. There's the glass inside. So you got a couple of wing nuts here for torque tension. A couple of big words. How is this supposed to work? Does it go all the way down? I'm going to break it. It's brand new. I'm going to break it. It's just like hung up. Anyway, that's supposed to fold down. There's the glass inside. So presumably this part back here mounts onto the ring, speed ring, mounted, connected to your camera, right? So my guess is most of that hardware there is for cell phones, not for like traditional camera, like DSLR or mirrorless cameras. Anyway, lens goes here. Oh, that is all the way down. So there you go. Good thing I didn't try to force it. I would have broke it. Cell phone sits here. Screen reflects in the glass, and you read what's on the glass. So one of the issues they were having in production was an issue with the glass. So my glass does not look like it's damaged. Looks like it's all right. So that should be usable. I'm wondering if they have any additional adapters, because if they don't give you, which I hope these are for traditional mirrorless cameras, if it's all cell phone stuff, that'd be a drag. So yeah, here's our, you look at all these different adapters for camera lenses. So these are all threaded adapters for your mirrorless camera lenses to throw that thing onto. So it just sits on front, mounts to the lens, rides on front of the lens, which is a nice and portable thing. What else we got in here? We got some bonus goodies. Dude, I just got, side note, going back to tracers. Jesse said he's packing up to shoot tracers tonight. I'm jealous. What do we got? We got just a piece of this. Again, save yourself the money. You don't need to put in a card with just a title on it. That is a waste of a couple cents, in my opinion. Just says it's a cleaning kit. That card was just to tell you that we have a microfiber cloth, one of these deployable brush cleaners with another little like sensor swab on the end. Cleaning kit. Sorry, I'm not trying to be pessimistic about this. This is going to be useful too. Look again, warning card. I think about these things, right? We got some lanyards. And last but not least in this box is another box. This looks like the remote. What's up, Willow Springs Raceway? Welcome to, yep, that's the Padcaster remote. Welcome to the show. So this is basically, so you get their app, plug in the battery, and then you can control the scrubbing. I'm assuming this is a Bluetooth remote because it's supposed to sync up to the app on your phone and give you the ability to control your essentially your script or whatever you have put up there. And that's it. That's all that was in the box, you guys. That big long wait for all of this stuff, which is super cool. We're gonna test it out. We'll do some of that later. If you're interested in getting a Padcaster, I think for a teleprompter, it's not a bad option to just get you started. Again, mostly it's a great option to have around if you're shooting clients who aren't comfortable on camera and it is a scripted spot. We worked a lot with some car companies, and one of the guys, it was just easier to have him read off the script because he could not get it in a clean. We couldn't get a clean take without it. I think the price on that range minded was $199. Was the Kickstarter special. Adorama. Let's see what Adorama's got them for. Padcaster. If you're looking for places to buy gear, I'm sure if you don't already know, Adorama or B&H are great options. I like Adorama a little bit over B&H because they have a membership option. Let me see. I may be wrong. Let me double check. Padcaster. Blah, 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 blah. Where is that? Is that the V2? Parrot Pro, $150 on Adorama. Yeah, it's on sale, $150. I don't know if that's the Kickstarter package. I feel like it was $150, $170 to $199. It's not a very expensive set. It's under $200. So it's a good option. Adorama, Adorama. Adorama. Yeah, there it is. It's a good option for buying gear. There's the unboxing, guys. That was it. We're gonna try to sort all this stuff out and try try to use this thing later. That'll be the next, maybe that'll be the next live stream, trying to get that thing to work. Oh my. Anyways, yeah, I don't know what else. So we're gonna do more of these. We'll do some, we'll do more unboxings. We'll talk guns. We'll talk camera gear. We have a little bit of time. I'm gonna try to keep these to about 30 minutes even. So on the YouTube video, we got 10 minutes left to just chat. So Instagram guys, if you got questions, I'm gonna rip back up to Jesse's question about advice on shooting tracers. So let's see. Yeah, it's a good thing. Again, it's just a good thing to have have around, right? There's been a lot of times where having a teleprompter has been something that is, again, just a useful option as a backup, even just to keep you on point, right? It's or on time, right? It's good because you can put other things up there, right? There's guys that have actually had, so that they engage with their camera a little bit better. If they're doing a live interview, they'll actually put the screen of the other person up on the prompter so that you're actually looking at the person when you're doing that. GunCon. Yeah, I'll be at GunCon. Pretty sure I'll be at GunCon. I think I'm going with Axis. The Axis guys have a booth at GunCon, I believe, this year. So Axis Manufacturing will be there with a lot of their new suppressors. So I'll probably be there with them and supporting a couple other clients as well. So GunCon, probably be there. Probably going to be at NRA. And we'll probably be at the next TriggerCon as well. So I'm going to be around. I'm going to be bringing printouts. Same like I did at SHOT Show. I'm going to bring a handful of prints, the same little goodie bags with some stickers and stuff when I go to these shows. So if you see me at these places, right, come find me and just ask for one, and I'll hand it to you, right? A lot of it for me is it's fun to give out a piece of artwork and also to meet new people. So and it's kind of fun. Like it's cool to know that people maybe want something from me. So that's awesome. Anyway, tracers, Jesse. The one thing I would consider, depending on how you're going to shoot, let me know, are you shooting this under night vision? Are you using nods, or is this just you're trying to get the actual color tracer shot? So let's talk about if you're not under night vision, right? You're going to want to just keep your frame rate in mind. So if you're doing slow motion, right, the traditional rule for motion blur, acceptable motion blur in camera is the 180-degree rule if you're going by degrees, or basically whatever your frame rate is, or you're at so if you're like 24 frames a second, 30 frames a second, 60 frames a second, if you want realistic motion blur, right, on your subject, you put it at twice. So if you're at 24 frames per second, your shutter speed is 1/50, or right. If it's 60 frames, it's 1/120. That gives you realistic motion blur. But if you're looking for, like, if you want really sharp slow motion, right? So like if you see like the slow-mo guys where you have something falling through space, but there's no motion blur, everything's really sharp, you have to crank up the shutter speed to probably 1x to 2x what your frames per second is to get rid of that motion blur, right? So for tracers, if you want to kind of accentuate the Star Wars like blaster look, you'd keep it at 180-degree rule or whatever. But if you wanted to sharpen that up for some really good slow motion, you just play around with your shutter speed is probably that. Jesse says we will have a night vision recorder, but we also want to shoot with the drone and camera. Yeah, so I would just think about, you could even go a little slower than, if you're 24 frames and drop your shutter to a little bit below one. That'll give you a nice long streak, right? I'd just play with your shutter speed and see how that works out. I'm excited to start doing some more night vision stuff. I just got a very expensive piece of metal somewhere. I have it here. Stand by. Hold on. So I just picked this up from a Canadian company. Oh my gosh, why can I never remember the names of companies when I'm put on the spot? I'll remember it and I'll put it up later. Anyway, this little piece of machined metal was $100, right? In comparison to the Padcaster. This right here is just an adapter to a PVS 14 tube, right? So what I'm going to be able to do is I'm going to be able to take an FX3 with a 35mm lens, put this guy on there, thread it right onto the Nod tube, and have 4K raw night vision footage because of this, which is dope. So I got a buddy of mine that I'm working with out of Boise. He's going to send me a tube. We're going to do some testing to see if we can capture some actual in-camera white phosphorus night vision that has, you can see all of the IR floods, IR lasers under this, which is kind of the goal. With this setup, I can balance an FX3 on a gimbal. We can get stabilized night vision footage, which would be cool. Opens up a lot of options. So there's, again, a Canadian company. If I can remember, I will not remember. If I always forget. Stand by. Let me pull up Instagram really quick so I can give them a shout out. Because if you're a camera guy and you're watching this and you want to do real night vision, because here's the thing, I've been looking for a camera conversion like an IR. You see guys hacking A7 IIIs to have IR capabilities, or an onboard recorder, or a lot of different kind of things to try to capture the night vision in camera, which for me has always been a little bit gimmicky. Where did I was messaging them, blah blah blah. Anyway, so I was looking for an option where I can get actual night vision in camera, right? Not something else. So let me see if I can find these guys. Hold on, bear with me, guys. I'm sorry, I'm eating up the clock here. Primary, blah blah blah. Where are they? I was talking with the guy. Garmin, no. Mi Pro, no. No. Might have been a minute ago. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find this. I know this kills the lives. Op4 Night Solutions Group. There it is. OPFOR Night Solutions Group out of Canada. They made this plate. They make a couple of different adapters as well for night vision. So if you have access to a night vision tube, which is the challenge, right? Because you're talking 10 grand. And once you have access to the tube, get one of these. You can use your actual real mirrorless camera to get some good in-camera night vision. So I'll be posting some of that soon. My buddy's going to be sending me one of those tubes. I'm going to borrow it. We're going to do some test footage, and it's going to be sweet. So I'm excited about that. Let's see what else we got. Two expensive hobbies: guns and cameras. Absolutely truth. Spend way too much money on both. Yeah, you guys are going to get good footage. I don't know that it's, the thing about tracers too, I noticed this. So the other day I got to shoot, was in the Agency Arms, invited me to go out to the burn pit party at SHOT Show. And I was up got the opportunity to record video inside the gunship helicopter when the minigun was getting dumped on the targets, which was very cool. So thank you, Agency Arms, for letting me do that. Mike, the guy's a stud. They're doing some cool work. So I got to do that, but they were running tracers out of that minigun. We had 600 rounds, went very fast. But the thing I noticed is that it takes a second for those tracers to ignite fully, right? When they come out of the barrel, you got, these bullets are moving fast. You got to ignite whatever that material is in the round to get the tracer going. And the helicopter was so close to the target that most of those tracers, you didn't get that really cool long streak, because it took a minute for the tracers to ignite. So just kind of know, if you're working with tracers, is that with a drone will be money, right? Drone with tracers will be super cool, because that's where you can get distance and you can see the full stretch of that arc, right? So you need a lot of space to really capture it. I would say your best footage probably going to come out of the drone. So yeah, GunCon should be fun. Let's see. Yeah, get one of these plates. They're kind of cool. Do you have a tube? We have some, blah, blah. We have some you want to play around with. Yeah, that'd be cool. I got some buddies that got tubes locally, but then hopefully if I can get my hands on one that I can just borrow for a solid couple of days, it'd be great. You just use an iPhone to PBS 14 adapter. That works too. I have one of those as well. I have several different adapters I'm going to try. I have one for a GoPro. It's like a hero mount that you can put on a tube. I got one for a phone that lets you, I got to modify it to be able to put basically any type of lens onto a tube. But this I think is going to be a good solution to be able to get that onto an FX3, because that's the goal. I want to get the bit depth, right, of raw in night vision, because then I can really play with the colors. yeah, so it should be cool. All right, you guys, where are we at? 29. We're at 30 minutes, so I'm going to cut this off. So for those of you that are just jumping on here, don't know, I'm starting up a YouTube video podcast. I'm going to try to do this regularly. Guns and Cameras, that's kind of the title and the idea for this podcast. Find me on YouTube. If you're watching this on Instagram, just check it out. Give me a follow or whatever. It'll be helpful because I want to try to grow on multiple platforms. You know how Instagram is pretty flaky, and so it's diversify your content, right? So we're going to try to spread out and do a little bit more on multiple different platforms. So on YouTube, you can look for 1156 Productions, or just search for me, my name, Joshua Best. Hopefully it comes up. I'll try to put a link or whatever. I think there's a Linktree link, or you can go to the link in my bio to my website, which should have the YouTube link. Anyway, it's a thing. Anyway, I appreciate you guys jumping on for the second time today. Hope you're having a great week. Stay vigilant, stay safe, have a good one. If you have questions, always use me as a resource. If it's about guns or cameras, I know some people in both of those fields. So if you have questions about whatever, just let me know. Anyway, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for joining. And we'll talk to you again soon. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week.